Yo, yo, welcome, welcome. Just getting everything all set up here. Hopefully it sounds good. Trying to play with the mic a little bit. See, we got one viewer. Probably my wife in the living room. I'll be back in just a minute. Damn, I've been talking this whole time with my mic off. Nobody said nothing. Hope everybody's having a good Sunday. Welcome, welcome. But, damn, where was I? I was getting into it already. Welcome back to this stream. I was talking about Saturday night. was actually Friday night into Saturday morning. We did a live 2 a.m. stream talking about vibe coding and kind of introducing this new show, getting ready for this new show. And yeah, this new show, Tree Vibes Live, we're essentially going to be just vibe coding, working on AI tools, testing out different models. I built this little TreeSpace app mainly for myself. It's all going to be open source, free to use. We're not selling anything. We're just going to be hanging out and testing out different AI tools and kind of following these other streamers. I call them the day streamers. So today is our day 0. So I'm pretty excited. Welcome to Tree Vibes Live. And what I'm really excited to do today is get into the XenBlocks miner optimization. So over in the XenBlocks Telegram, there's a guy named Tony Stark, and he's cool dude, but he was mentioning he was using AI models to update and refactor the XenBlocks miner. And what's been happening is sometimes the XenBlocks server goes down and we can't submit the hashes, but he discovered that he can store the hashes with their timestamps locally and then resubmit them when the server comes back online. So I want to see how we can optimize Woody's miner and do some XenBlocks mining, maybe with our own Tree City miner. I'll also talk about this TreeSpace, which is basically an app I built just for vibe coding, just for myself, just to launch different CLIs. I work a lot in different AI tools. I love using Claude Code and Codex and Grok and Kimi K3, and I was getting frustrated because I was basically using Windows command prompt and PowerShell and trying to manage 4, 5, 6 different terminal windows. So I found this app, this open source app called Waves Terminal, and I just kind of forked it into this new app called TreeSpace. Instead of being an IDE where we're coding with it, it's actually going to be an ADE where it's more of an agentic environment. So it's pretty cool. This is what we've been working on today. So you'll notice over here on the left, I have these agent CLIs, so I can just hit the launch button. Oh, of course it's gonna, yeah, let's restart. I was just updating it, so I haven't even tested it yet. Let's see where we're at. Tree, cool. Yeah, there we go. So essentially, like if I wanted to launch Claude Code, I could launch Codex, I could launch Grok, I could launch Kimi all at once, and then hide the side pane, and then kind of put them in a square that I like. You know, now I have 4 different terminals running different models all in the same window. So that's pretty cool to me. That's kind of what I've been working on building here. So earlier today, see, I was yelling at the model, getting frustrated. But essentially we are just working through some different things. So let's see here. So I wanted to talk about X1.NINJA a little bit. This was kind of my first vibe coding project, and I still update it every day. I'm checking it out every day. I always appreciate the feedback that we get in the chat, and over the weekend, some random guy named R came in the chat and he said, hey, I used the site, but some of the data is wrong. It's missing some transactions. It's like the price is right, but the transaction history is off. So I used Fable 5 and GPT 5.6 Soul, and I found that there was a bug where the indexer was kind of getting ahead of itself, and it would just kind of drop if there were more than 10 transactions in a blip. So there would be certain parts of the day where it would just kind of crash out, and if there's a bunch of transactions, it would drop like the last 3 or 4 transactions, and the price and the liquidity and everything would be right, but just those transactions would be missing from the transaction list. So essentially what X1.NINJA is, I want it to be a DEX screener competitor. It's meant for the X1 blockchain, and essentially you can see right now it's connected to the only DEX on X1, XDEX. You can check out XDEX at xdex.xyz, and X1.NINJA's at X1.NINJA. So these are all meme coins that are launched. Some are meme coins. You got the XNM miner coin that we're going to talk about. You got Ripper XNT, which is the staked XNT, the liquid stake product. And all of these are different projects on the X1 network. So if you click on one, it'll give you the chart. It gives you the transaction history. So here I'm looking at the XNT USD CX pair. Given a second to load up the chart data, and now we can see chart data going all the way back to the genesis of X1. You see that first day it hit $500 when the first XDEX liquidity pools were created, and then since then it just kind of found a range between 30 and 60 cents. It's just kind of bouncing around. So today it's at 54 cents. But you see it's so volatile right now. There's very little liquidity, and that's kind of what happens when there's little liquidity. But so with X1.NINJA, we can see the price over the last 5 minutes, 1 hour, 6 hours. You can see the market caps at 7 million, got the liquidity. We can see the safety score. So this is a wrapped XNT. It is the network token. So we don't even take the safety score as if it was a meme coin or secondary project. You can see the buys and sells. So say I wanted to buy 1,000 XNT, that would cost me like 500 USDC. So you can just get different ideas and different data about the token here. And all this is pulled from on-chain using my X1.NINJA validators. You can see details about the pool, just like on Dex Screener. Get the token addresses. You can also see all the buys, all the sells, and even better, all the liquidity adds anytime someone adds or removes liquidity. So lots of cool stuff here. One of the cool features we added are the token holder charts. So give this a second to load. It is a lot of holder data, especially for the network token, but we should be able to get a pretty cool chart here. So you can see there's 121,000 XNT in the XDEX pool, which is the liquidity pool. That's cool to see. Most of the liquid supply is in the liquidity pool. Then you can see some of the biggest holders there. But then if I go to Bubble Map, it'll actually show me different wallets transacting around each other. So here you see some very active wallet. It's 4ZGBUI sending out all kinds of XNT all over the place. And it's just a basic bubble map. It takes all the holder data, finds clusters of wallets and different edges, and just draws it out in different colors. And if I click on one, it gives me a nice little chart, how much they in, out, the different addresses that are sending. It's just another cool little feature on X1.NINJA and this is the reason I'm going over this now, is this is kind of my first vibe coded project. This is something I've been building for the last 2 years, and I would never be able to do this without AI, and it really kind of taught me my passion for AI. So in addition to that, we also have some other fun different things. You can do the multi-charts, so I can have I think it's up to 16. Up to 16 different charts in a single window. If you have a big enough screen. You can do the wallet tracker, where you can connect your own wallet, see your own transactions on chain, and all kinds of fun information. Here, we'll let this connect real quick. So it should show you my transaction history, me adding liquidity. I got my forest tokens, my potato vampire, got a bunch of USDCX, XNT liquidity going on. You can also see the shadow feed, which are the live transactions coming in. So these are straight from the validator. This is not from the XDEX RPC. This is the on-chain data. So as soon as the data hits my validator, it pops into this feed. And it is kind of crazy. Sometimes the network does get very busy, and you can see all these different pings. Like right now, we just had one. So we'll sit here for a second. We'll see another one. But it's funny. A lot of times you can see a lot of trading bots, like these ANL XNT trading with the eggplant, and kind of going back and forth really quick, kind of like this X1, buy and sell really fast into each other. Also gives you the top pairs over the period, so it starts over the last 20 pairs, and we'll just monitor for new trades coming in. So you can see the last 20 trades, $100 of volume, just different stats and stuff. Got the trading leaderboard. So this is essentially the XDEX leaderboard as far as trading volume. So you can sort it by volume, number of trades. So you can see some super heavy bots here making thousands of swaps on XDEX. That's kind of funny. All the different pairs they're trading. And then you see a couple wallets, like this wallet's done the most volume, but it's only done it in 6 trades. So that's someone just kind of buying and holding. Just different behavior, different kind of psychology on the chain. You can kind of visualize over on X1.NINJA. And this is all stuff that I wanted to see on chain. So, that's why I built it like this. LP pool tools. So if you're interested in making LP pools and there's not like a USD or an XNT value, so like I could type in like, what's one of the new tokens? Everybody's talking about ANL right now. So say I wanted to pair ANL with Forest. I can pick these two and it kind of gives me the price in the different tokens. So I can see the ANL price and Forest, the PV price and Forest, the going rate. So it's not just the price in USDC, but it's 24K Forest per potato, or 24K Potato Vampire per Forest token. So you can see this kind of, and you can sort it by liquidity, see what the biggest pools are, where the volume is. So it's kind of cool, easy way to make liquidity pools. I can see if I wanted to price the ANL Forest pool, I would set the Forest price to 1.65. It's, 1 penny and 65. So we also have our verified token, so you can submit your token, get verification, add the banner, update your logo, do all that stuff that's over on Dex Screener. We're trying to bring that over to X1. Right now it's like we have it very cheap. It's 5 XNT to list. It's kind of a joke. Over if you look at Dex Screener or what's the other one? The not Dex Pool, Dex Scan maybe. They charge like $400, $500, $600. This is more so just to stop spam. So 5 XNT, that's like $2. Just to update your token info on the X1.NINJA. And it's just part of the process, the stuff we're testing. Also has some wallet tools. So like if you want to create a vanity address, like if I wanted to create like a Wes address, it generates the address and it does this all in the browser. So it does not store it anywhere. I don't store the seeds. The seeds don't get stored in the browser, in your history or anything. It just puts it right on the stream. So it created a wallet address that begins with WES. And then it gives me the private key if I wanted to use that wallet. And that's the only time you'll see the private key is when it shows up in the browser there. Also has the account closer. So as you know, on Solana, they have the incinerators. This is the same type of thing. When you have tokens and then you sell all the tokens, the token account actually stays open. So you can see I have some tokens, but if I look at my wallet, I don't actually own these tokens. This eggplant and this, I don't have any super blocks. I sent that to my cold storage. This Cry Walker token, I don't have any of that in here. So if I select these, I can actually reclaim this rent of 002 XNT. So I'll hit close selected, it'll send the transaction, and then I'll actually get those tokens back. Success, close 2 accounts. It'll refresh, scan my tokens account, and then just make sure, notice those are gone now. I no longer have the eggplant or whatever that was. So just different tools. You can also see the token allowance, transaction decoder. So you can actually paste in a transaction address. So if I go over to my activity here, here's the transaction for closing my wallet. If I put this over here, paste it, it'll actually decode the transaction. So you can see what happened in a visual way. You can see that I called the close account program on the program, on the token program. Now you see the balance changes. I got some of my token rent back, so that's cool. Some of it went to gas. So just different tools. You can also stake to validators. There's a bunch of different websites to do it. It's just the on-chain staking mechanism. I'll just keep going through this. The network section, these are the network tools. So you can see Capimon. These are the validator health and the delegation. So you can come in here right now. The self-stake requirement just increased to 5,000. So we're going to have to update our site here. I think we have 1,000 listed as the minimum. Oh no, we have right around 3,000. So pretty soon it's going to be 5,000. So you're going to have to be, as of today, it's 247. If you come all the way up, there's 5,000, the cutoff. You're going to have to be a top 200 validator within the top 180, basically. So, and that's your self stake. So our Ninja validators, each one has around 7,500. So we're not in danger of losing our community delegation from the foundation. So you can see Ninja 1, 2, and 3 here. This is what pulls the data from the network. So I'm not using the XDEX RPC. I'm monitoring the XDEX program and then scraping that data into a database. And that's how I run an X1.NINJA. So it's been a lot of fun learning all this. Shout out to the 3 viewers. Welcome, welcome. But you can see the status, so give this a second to refresh. See, we're accepting the data, we're building the candles, everything's syncing with the validator. You can see the most visited, the top pairs. So some of these are, the network token has 300 trades, but this ANL token has over 1,000. That's obviously some bot activity there, but it's cool to see. It's still the number one. You see the unique visitors. So Wednesday we had a big day. That was when the I think that incident happened. So we had over 4,000 visitors on X1.NINJA, and it's just kind of cooling out. We usually get between 1 and 2 a day, so that's pretty cool to see. Just people visiting different charts and stuff. And then you can actually come over to the status page and see the most visited pairs. So you can see XNT USDCs 74 times. This DRC, I've never heard of this. Someone's just hitting the refresh on the DRC. Oh, it's the Drac. Shout out to Emoji Dracula. That's kind of cool. Kind of a rug, but kind of cool. Let's see if there's anything crazy in the bubble map. Do they do an airdrop or anything? I think I heard about this on Twitter. I wasn't really... Yeah, someone giving away tokens over here. That's kind of cool. Shout out to the Drac team. I think I saw Rolando and Cloudcox talking about it. So that's over the last 24 hours. That's the second most visited coin on X1.NINJA. And then ANL with 37. Everyone wants to see the rug pool. That was a pretty violent dump here. They actually shut down the X1 bridge for a day just to kind of see what was happening. I think it was like something like $20,000 of USDC was trying to be bridged out or was bridged out. I'm not even sure, but I think the dev was compromised. He installed a fake version of the X1 wallet, I think. So he thought he was talking to Jason, and this guy sent him the X1 wallet extension. And when he installed it, it just instantly stole his seed phrase and sent it to the bad guy. I guess that's the rumor. That's what they're saying. But to me, that seems a little outlandish. But it is what it is. The damage is done. No need to speculate. But that's kind of what X1's all about. So come over to the Telegram, hanging out in there. We'll be talking about vibe coding and everything. Yeah, so that's X1.NINJA. Forgot to move the topic forward. So if you see on the bottom here, this is actually something else we vibe coded over the weekend. Actually on the live stream, we were doing this live at like 3 in the morning, just kind of setting up the stream and testing out the mic and stuff. We created this bottom banner, and on my stream deck I have buttons and I can skip to the next topic. Oh yeah. You can see how active we've been with X1.NINJA. We come over to the releases. These are all the updates we've pushed all the way going back to version 0.1. First one being 0.5, January 24, 2026. We had our standalone candle aggregator, we had the multi-chart layouts, and we had the watch list. And that was about it. And then more and more models, AI models started coming out. We've been able to, it's funny, every time a new model comes out, we're able to iterate on our setup and either make it faster, make it more secure, or add new features. So we've just been adding more and more features. February was a big month. This is when we added the updated indexer that was connected to the validator, which allows us to do the X-ray and the holder stuff and grab that holder information stored in the relational database. In March we added the LP pool tool, geyser pipeline. This was the validator. So prices now update directly from the validator's geyser plugin instead of pulling the public RPC. And that was when we were able to fix the data, get more accurate, get the shadow feed with the live data. And we keep finding little bugs, just little either the indexer or the candles don't display, or the candle price is different than the data card. So I appreciate all the feedback. Everything you guys see, definitely let me know. 420, we're at 0.111, and yeah, we're just, what was today's push? Version 20, yeah, August 9th. So we added some more tools. We added the MACD and the stochastic RSI. So shout out to the guy in the Telegram. What's up, Simple? Welcome. Whoever you are in the Telegram, shout out for the feedback. But based on his feedback, we fixed the transaction history. We fixed the candle price glitch. Both of those issues should be resolved now. And then, yeah, we're just improving our data, improving our features, and doing what we can. But yeah, Simple, I'm about to show you how I vibe code. So let's get into it. We're going to be doing the XenBlocks miner optimization. So XenBlocks is an interesting project, and I think it's all but dead, but it's pretty close to being dead. But people are still mining. I'm still mining. I never stopped mining. I actually have my two 3060s. One second, my nose is tickling me, driving me crazy. So I have my two miners, my two 3060s. They're just running in the basement all the time. But what I'd like to do today is kind of go through my vibe coding and development process with XenBlocks as the example. So this is kind of tying the crypto side into the AI tooling side. And I'm going to show you how I gather the documentation, how I get my ideas and thoughts together. And then we're going to set up the projects folder. I'll use some agents to gather some information. We'll probably grab Woody's miner. We'll grab the Zen miner from Jack Levin. Try to find some old documentation, maybe the old Zen Crypto IO documentation. Get all that together, and then see how we can create a new miner. And I'll probably take Woody's miner and see and kind of see what we can do from there. Haven't done any development work in C, so I might have to install some crazy prerequisites. Hopefully we can get it going today. But first thing when we always start our vibe coding is getting our documentation together. And so what I'm using is my own ADE called TreeSpace. It's a fork of Waves terminal, and it just allows me to get my thoughts kind of together. So we're going to create a new tree. We're going to name it XenBlocks. And then we're going to choose a new folder. Earlier I made this tree miner X&M folder. So now you can see it's just an empty folder. There's nothing in here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to launch a Claude session, and we're going to kind of build our folder using Claude. So first thing I like to do is we're going to create the Claude.md file, and then I'm going to open this up and start jotting some notes. So XenBlocks is a mining algorithm and protocol on X1 network. The official website is XenBlocks.io. That's the official website, right? And then what is Woody Miner still up? Yeah. So we'll say the most popular and efficient miner is the Woody Miner. From here. So you see I'm just kind of getting my notes together. The project founder GitHub is, I think this will be in the XenBlocks chat or on the website. Yeah. We have the original Zen miner. Then we have the Woody miner GitHub is. Does he have the link? Yeah. Shout out to Woody, the OG. Last updated 3 months ago. That's kind of cool. We are looking to revisit the project, both miners, and create a new. What's Joseph's miner? So ZenPub, shout out to Joseph. He also has a miner, so we can grab the link for that. And essentially we're gonna have the agents kind of clone and review, and we'll have it spin up a couple agents to review the documentation. See if we can find it here. Thought I forked it. Oh, here we go. XGPU. Let's see if he's got a newer one. Shout out to Joseph, the Zen OG. Yeah, that looks like it. All right, now where are the official docs? If I go to XenBlocks. Book. Here we go. One issue with the current miner is that the central server goes offline. We should be able to store the hashes and timestamps locally, then resubmit when server is online with a 4070 attached. Yeah, we won't do that yet. So now what I can do, please. So, kind of a sidebar. Last week, ChatGPT released their handheld controller. The Codex Micro. And I thought it was kind of cheesy, kind of nifty, but I love stuff like that. I just couldn't justify spending hundreds of dollars on like a micro keyboard. But this is what it is. It's meant for like having a push to talk button, and there's like a backspace, and you can kind of pull up codecs and do these different things. I didn't get one, but what I did do, go to Amazon, and I bought like a $10 light up key troller type thing. So this is basically nothing, but it does the exact same thing. So if I hit this first button, it'll do speech to talk with our TreeSpeak app that we're developing. TreeSpeak is it's just a very basic speech to text. It doesn't do anything crazy agentic, but it allows me to make the stream more interesting, so I'm not just typing the whole time. So first thing I'm going to do is tell Claude, hey Claude, we're starting a brand new project. Please review the Claude MD I just started and initialize. Then from there, we will begin researching XenBlocks. I'd like you to dispatch 4 to 5 Sonnet and Opus agents to review and clone the GitHubs and begin building the documentation. So use speech to text, it just types it out for me. I'm gonna have to go back and fix XenBlocks, Sonat, actually Sonnet. Cool. So this should actually take this Claude MD file. I make sure I save it. I started with the GitHubs and the documentation, and then it's going to spin up 4 or 5 sub agents and go out to the internet and start building our documentation. And if I click on files here, we should start to see these files start to kind of creep into the project here. I wonder if I could do it like this. And this is what vibe coding is for me. So I start getting my documentation together. I start coming up with the plan. Now notice I'm not coding anything yet. I'm not having the AI code anything yet. Not until we have a plan and we have the documents and we know what we're doing. And I have a feeling we're gonna really kind of lean into the Jack Levin monitor and the Woody Soil monitor miner and also Joseph's miner. Really see how we can optimize it. Janet Rakuten, what's up? So as I work on this, I'm finding these little annoyances and bugs. So right now I have all these different headers for these columns, but I don't really want permissions and size and stuff, but I can't hide it. There's no option to hide it. So that's annoying. That's going to be a feature we'll have to add later in a different show. So now you can see it's starting to build out the project. It's building out the docs. It's starting to clone the repos. So we got our XenBlocks miner repo, our Zen miner repo, the Joseph repo. It's starting its research. We'll just let it cook for a minute. So while that goes, what I can do is launch a regular terminal. Oops. So this is my server in the basement. Forget how to read the Hi Claude, I am in a XenBlocks mining stream and I need to check the stats of the mining server that's running. Can you please let me know how the miner is running and how I can pull up the tail command or the tmux command to monitor it? Wow, it did tmux right. That's cool. Did not do XenBlocks right. Oh no, gotta log in. All right. Man, Claude has been crazy with the sign-ins lately. It's super annoying. Not only do I gotta log into the Claude code, but I also gotta log into the website and then verify my identity and paste the code. All right, so let's see how project is initialized and research is underway. Here's where things stand. Review the Claude MD, core mission's clear. Study the 3 existing miners, build a new one. Yes. So in flight, 4 agents running in parallel. We got Opus doing a deep dive on Zen Miner. Opus is doing a deep dive on Woody's miner. And then Sonnet's checking out Vast AI scripts and Joseph's miner. And then Sonnet is doing the docs sweep. Each agent writes its findings to the number file in the docs folder. So that's cool. We're starting to get some docs built out. And you can see on the bottom here, we have these general purpose agents running, spending tokens. So that's cool. So while those agents are running, we can actually start up another task. What do you think will be the fastest and most efficient way to store the hashes when the server goes down? That is the biggest problem we're trying to solve, as well as any other optimizations for speed and more hash rate. So I hit Shift Tab to put it into auto mode. It's something I just run on all the time. Shout out to the 5 viewers. What you working on? I'm working on a XenBlocks mining project. Just kind of playing with stuff. I'm also working on this TreeSpace. So this is my own kind of ADE environment, just vibe coding environment, just so I can launch these different agents. I got Claude Code and Codex and Grok and Kimmy and Anti-Gravity and a Goose agent on here. I can connect to my local Olama instance on my server. So that's something else I'm testing. I'm just finding different annoyances. Like I can't organize these header columns or hide them. Like if I wanted to hide this permission, there's no option. I can hide hidden files, which is funny, but we're just working on a crypto mining project. Right now we're getting 50k hashes out of my 2 GPUs, and these 32 rejected blocks are what my issue is. So we'll go ahead and tail it over here. Oh, what? I want to tail the log, not the service log. Anyways, miner's running. We're getting 50k hashes a second. I'll take it. So these agents are finishing up. First research report is in. Not a miner at all. It's more for bootstrap scripts on Vast and RunPod. So it basically calls Woody's miner. That's cool. What's up, guys? Sorry, I don't mean to ignore the chat. New here, new sub. Welcome, welcome. Suddenly, a lot of people have been working on ADEs. And I think it's because of BridgeMind, right? You go through the written code or like understand the structure, leave it all to the agent. Yeah. So this is kind of what I do. So I am watching the folders it creates, and I'll look at the docs. You know, you want to make sure your documentation's on point before you do anything. So talks about the protocol, uses the Argon 2ID hash rhythm, algorithm, memory hard, VRAM. And this is what we need to get right. It's really the submission of the blocks. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Cool. Looking for the actual submission part, because that's the part we need to fix. Yeah, right here. So there's no documented rule anywhere that forbids late submission. The Zuni window governs when a hash must be found, not when submitted. There's real prior art for exact fine. I forgot about travelers. Yeah, that was another Zenian that made his own miner. So it's waiting on the final two Opus agents. Yeah. That's why they call it Slopus, right? Got tech background? Yeah, I do. I'm more of an IT hardware background, more of a service provider. Most of the coding I've done over the years are scripts, you know, working with Python and PowerShell and these types of things. So this more web design and these application development, like this is my first Electrum app. This TreeSpace app that we're building. These more heavy coding topics are pretty new to me, but even in college, I did have to take like VB.NET and Java and these different like introduction to coding. So having those introductions into the background like really jump started my vibe coding experience. Personally use T3 code. Hell yeah, Theo's the man. Herder too. I do watch a lot of the vibe coders. So yeah, I know Theo. He has his T3. I think T3 is probably the most developed one. But Herder's cool. I heard of Herder through Billy. So he's another, he's the Hawaiian guy. So just waiting on these last two Slopus agents to land. Just burning my tokens right now. But this is actually something I'm testing, so I just added this little text viewer here just so I could see the documentation better. Officially viable. Server code confirms it. There's no timestamp validation at all. Mission payload doesn't even contain a timestamp. Well, the submission payload doesn't, but doesn't the salt, like the, isn't that part of the hash? Yeah, it can't be queued. Cool. Yeah, this crash and losing XenBlocks submissions is what the actual problem is. That's what we're trying to solve. Whether it's storing the hashes locally or having a better retry mechanism, maybe both. What do you think? Day one on bridge mine, but didn't end well. Yeah, for sure. I completely understand. It's definitely, this is definitely not a vibe coding till we make $1 million stream. I'll say that. I've always liked tech. I've always liked playing around with stuff. So this is kind of my playground. Like this guy. You know, I didn't get my own codex device, so I went and made my own. And now it's like my own tree controller, I call it. And they're not really two options. They're two layers of the same fix. Storage without a smart retry loop just accumulates a pile of hashes nobody submits. Retry without storage means a crash or power cut mid loses everything. How about the mining and Argon 2 hashing method itself? I heard many people say that Woody's C code is not optimized and it could be refactored and optimized to squeeze more hash rate out. Is that true? I'm curious what happened with Bridgemine. I think that's cool. He was kind of one of the first ones I saw, and now I see all these other ones popping up. But it's inspiring to me. I think it's kind of cool. Same with the crypto stuff. It's like I got into crypto streaming because I wanted to learn about it. And I wanted to learn about the Solidity development and the Rust development, and learning about Rust and Solana really kind of taught me also about Go and Rust and these different programming languages that I would never have even looked at if it wasn't for AI. Specific answer for Woody's code is exactly what's still running on Opus. Feeling is memory bandwidth, not compute. What? Cooperative warp design. Strong implementations compute 1 Argon 2 block per warp. 32 threads sharing Blake 2B state via register shuffles. Sounds like magic. No shared memory around trips. Thread per hash designs choke on register pressure and spills. What? Yeah, I have been into crypto. I mean, I've been in crypto since 2020. It's I've definitely made some good money on it, but I still work. I still have a real job. It's not like I made millions off of it, but I think I turned like 5K into 50K last bull run, and I do think This is kind of the bottom of the bear market. I think if you were ever thinking about crypto, now would be a great time to consider getting in. Keeping the result check on the GPU. You only need the final block digest. The miner copies digest back to the CPU to check them. That's wasted traffic. That's kind of cool. The rumor's mostly wrong about the kernel and completely right about everything around it. Woody's CUDA core is genuinely sophisticated. The deep dive found it already does nearly everything on what my strong implementations do list. For per hash design, all 4 Argon 2 slices run in a single one-shot. Even maintain an optimization ledger documenting rejected experiments, which tells you people have already gone hunting for the easy 2x and didn't find it. But here's the twist. The unoptimized part of Woody's miner is exactly your problem. Submission side. It's shockingly weak next to the kernel. Okay. Submit queue is an in-RAM C++ queue. Process dies. Every queue find dies with it. Okay. Table. I'd like you to do your own review. Do a deep dive on the technical aspects around the submission and the mining hashing. I'd like you to come up with a plan to optimize it to its fullest extent. So then what I like to do, notice we're still not really coding yet. You know, we're still vibe documenting, if you want to call it. So we're vibe documenting, getting our documents together. And once I have everything in these docs and these repos and these research folders ready to go, then I'm going to go into our other agents. I'll see what's up Kimmy. I'll say what's up Soul, and see what ChatGPT and Moonshot think about it. And sometimes I also spin up a fresh Claude session with no context and say, hey, what do you think about this? Because Claude does get confused, especially when you're using Opus. Opus tends to go overboard sometimes. I make myself bigger. Cool. Just noticed my Twitter going off. Shout out to you guys. Go give me a follow on Twitter, on X, I should say. X.com at TreeCityWest. Do my own hands-on review of the actual code, kernel first, then the submission path, and the server verify handler. Build the optimization plan from what I find. So this is good. So I had Fable spin up Opus and Sonnet 5 agents to gather up all the docs and the repos and the research. Now I'm asking Fable to do its own research. And once Fable completes the research and does the plan, that's when we'll introduce the other agents into the workflow. Then once we get the plan solidified in the documentation, I'll tell Fable to have at it. And then I'll have GPT 5.6 Soul double check it. And that's kind of how I vibe code personally. I am curious why this one is really going in right now. I like it though. It's reviewing the... You're just cooking. Let it cook. We want to refactor Woody's miner to be more resistant to server disconnects and server connection failures. The server disconnects several times per day and we lose submissions, and based on how the Woody miner stores the hash submissions, they are lost forever. So how do we fix that? What's crazy about this stream right now? And I'm wondering if it's because I mentioned X1.NINJA or XenBlocks mining. But when I streamed at like 3 a.m., I had a good 20 people in here. Right now we got 3. Shout out to the 3 in here. Checking the sound real quick. Sounds okay. All right. Now I can give you the exact surgical answer because the root cause is visible in 26 lines of code. Here's the fix. What do you submit queue? It's a queue of opaque closures. Found hash lives only inside a captured lambda in RAM. Oh, that's where it lives. Inside the captured lambda. Okay. And the fix that keeps the closure queue is lipstick. The refactor is closures, durable records. The refactor, step by step. Add a find journal component. Add SQLite 3 to VC package. Journal before anything else. Rewrite block submitter as a journal drainer. And replace the retry loop. All right. One of these agents is lagging behind. Because I'm here. I'm pretty sure it's because I'm talking about crypto and because I have XenBlocks in the stream name. That's funny. while this runs, I'm gonna go into my TreeSpace tab. And then I can talk about things within TreeSpace that are bothering me. But you can kind of see what I'm going for here. So I can set up these different agents here, you know, run Claude code, run Grok. And these are attached to the TreeSpace folder. And then if I want to switch over to the XenBlocks project, it's a completely different layout in it, but it's a different project and it doesn't get confused. It's nice. Waiting on this Slopus to finish the final doc here. Was I about? Oh, you know what it is? It's the recent agents where it says project root. Okay. On the agent launcher, we have this section of recent agents that say project root. I like the collapsible recent agents, but I do not like the project group recent agents that are taller and take up more space. I only want to keep the collapsible one and then remove the ones under it. I noticed something under the launcher I'd like to fix. Under the recents, I want to keep the collapsible recents, but I do not want the tall recents where it says project root. I'd like to remove the taller recents and only keep the collapsible one. What's happening? Why is it? Test 1, 2. Collapsible list. Then the launch. Cool. So then I'll float back to my XenBlocks project. I'm concerned about this agent. It's just been writing forever. You are what's taking so long? This one's going on 15 minutes. The other one's finished in like 5. Said writing now, then didn't start the write. Come on, Claude. This is why they call you Slopus. What's up in J-Dub? Hope everybody's having a good Sunday evening. Wonder if I can give away subscriptions. I used to be able to. Bruh, come on, Opus. Looks like you're done. Alright, I don't got time. I got a retarded one. Excuse me, I got a slow one. I got a slopus. What is going on? There we go. Okay. Sheesh. Slow agent ate me. Alright, can you build the comprehensive plan for the new miner? We will call it Tree Miner, and it'll be a fork of the 3 that we have with our new fixes. Please build the planning document, including the architecture and languages and outline, and we will create a new folder called Tree Miner and begin building there. Do not begin building. I'd like other agents to review the plan yet. Just let me know when the new plan is written. Oh, spelled miner wrong. That's not good. Oh, God. At least Claude gets it. What? Why is... I'm looking at Epidemic Sound and there's no skip button. Like, what is happening? If I want to skip a song, how do I skip a song? I am so confused. Is this for real? Is the music control to skip the song and enable shuffle? I have to use the AI assistant to ask where the next button is? What the hell? I'm baffled. Alright. Getting distracted by the stupidity of Epidemic Sound. Plan is written and committed. Alright, so now we have our plan written by Fable. Now I'm going to open the launcher and we're going to have Codex, we'll do Grok, and we'll do Kimmy. Review the plan and let me know if you have any other options for optimizing, including increasing hash rate or fixing the submission problem that we're reviewing currently. So now I got the same kind of prompt for each one. Now I'll just drop this prompt. Codex lets me. Oh my god, stop it. Why? Ah. Stop thinking for a second. Thank you. Okay. Also, copying and pasting from within terminals, especially running Grok, is nearly impossible. Let Agent cook on that while these work on these. Yeah, Grok is going in right now. That's funny. Kimmy is notoriously slow, but it's cooking over here. Create a Grok recommendation MD file with your plan instead of folding them into plan.md. So now I'm gonna have each of the agents, being Grok, Kimmy, and Codex, create their own plans, and then I'll go back to Fable and have Fable review each of their plans. Make sure we're all on the same page. Kimmy, create a new plan called Kimmy Plan instead of folding them into Plan MD as a revision. It actually named it Kimmy. Instead of KMI, it's KMMY. Soul's ready. Codex here. Create a soul plan.md file instead of committing to the main plan, and let me know when it's ready. Just waiting on Soul to finish writing his plan, and then we'll close all these windows and go back to Fable. Review their plans and let me know what you think. And I let Fable make the big decisions. But I am curious if it looks like Kimmy and Grok and Soul each found a couple other items. So we'll see what we can optimize here. A little snack. All right, so now go ahead and close these windows. I just had my 3 other agents review and create their own plans. Can you please review their plans and let me know if they have any interesting ideas we should incorporate before moving forward? Oh, you motherfucker. Because this is running tests. Please stop. I just had 3 other agents review the project and create their own MD files. Please review their plans and let me know if they have any new or different ideas than what you found before we get started. Dinner time. This would be cool if it works. Be another use case of using AI to actually fix something. So I've been running the same miner for basically 2 years, and anytime the server goes down, I lose a bunch of hashes. I just see all the failures and I just chalk it up. It is what it is. But AI is allowing me to update the miner in a way that allows me to resubmit those hashes. So it makes me a little bit more efficient. Kimmy playing with the MMY, that cracks me. Oh no, I'm waiting for API response. Alright, so this is the big one. I read all 3 reviews and checked every load-bearing claim against the actual code. These are highly quality reviews and several genuinely new findings, including 2 real woody bugs I missed, and 1 correction to my own plan. So that's why I keep the other agents active, just to keep the main one in check. So as powerful as Fable is, the Soul and the Kimmy K3 and the Grok found some things that I wasn't able to find. But now I can bring those things back to Fable and have Fable implement the fix. So Woody submit recomputes the full hash, submission time. If difficulty is ticked between GPU find and submit. Oh yeah, we gotta know what the difficulty is at the time of submission. Or at the time the hash is found, not at the time of submission. Let's spin up 2 Fable agents in addition to you and begin building this out in our new tree miner folder. All right, while that begins, I'm going to step away for 2 seconds. I'll be right back. And we back. Shout out to the 4 viewers. Fable spinning up 2 other Fable agents. And what we'll I gotta get the I'm gonna go into my GitHub and create a fresh repo. I'll make this one public. Created remote. Yeah, so we're just chilling. That's why I love vibe code. Curious, what do we got here? We got our tree miner. So this is what the repo looks like. We'll have to clean that up before we push it to GitHub. Well, while those cook, we can go ahead and talk about in here. So, like I said, kind of similar to the old crypto streams, but kind of pivoting towards AI. We're still going to be talking about X1 or X1 validators, X1.NINJA, you know, Bitcoin, but this is definitely going to become more of an AI and more of a vibe coding stream. So we set up the site at treecity.dev. This is where we're going to be posting the process and the projects, including the TreeSpace and the TreeSpeak. You know, this is what we're working in today, kind of dog food in our own projects here. Also testing out this fork, named it TreeSpeak, but trying to get the voice to text going, the agentic coding environment just for myself. Not planning on selling these, but I'll post them up on GitHub once we get closer to some real testing and everything. But I mean, these are tools that I built for myself just to make my life easier with features that I wanted to see. So if anybody else wants it, I'll put it out there. But yeah, I'm not really. It's really more about the open source, just getting to know it and getting to learn, figuring out an AI coding workflow that I like. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Watch it get built on Tree City West. That sounds funny. Definitely some AI slap there. See how it works. Also have been testing out Buzz, so running my own Buzz server. Eventually might open it up for the chat, but yeah, right now it's not very reliable. They're releasing new updates every day. Like you can see, it's just kind of stuck there. So like, what we can do here, it's kind of cool. You can set up chats, but the chats are full of my own agents, and then the agents talk to each other. So I can have Kimmy and Fable and Opus in a chat, and I say, hey Fable, direct Kimmy to do this. And then Opus and Kimmy talk to each other. Opus tagging Kimmy with the list of tasks it wants it to do. And then Kimmy responds and says, okay, I did it. And then Opus hands it over to OpenAI. And then OpenAI responds and records the changes. And it's just kind of this crazy workflow that I didn't expect, where if you have multiple subscriptions or multiple agents, they can interact in a new way. And then I can actually bring people in. So like we could have a tier level, like in the chat, you know, like $20 tiers a month, and you get access to the Buzz channel. You know, that's kind of the future of this. You know, I see a lot of these AI channels doing that eventually, but right now it's just not there yet. It's still very early beta testing stages, but it's fun to play with for sure. You can set up your own little agents. You know, I set it up by the model, so I have Fable and Grok and Kimmy, but what you're supposed to do is give them different tasks. So there's like the code organizer, then there's the project manager, and then there's the marketing agent, and then there's the, you know, the showrunner, and just these different like tasks and roles that you would normally have at a company. You can build your agents to run your company in the chat that way, and then they can talk to each other. It's kind of a cool thing. Let's check on Fable over here, see how we're doing. Shout out to my 2 watchers. That's so crazy. The other night, 3 a.m. I had like 10 or 15 people in here. The video had 100 views. That's so strange to me. All right, build phase is fully underway. Remote connected to main. Woody's laid. Woody's codebase forked into tree miner. So we're starting with Woody's codebase, forking that, and then we're on V2 of the plan. So we got the submission path, which is the big part, and the hashing path, kernel review, and then the combined plan of record. Come in here and look at the actual plan. So we're taking the Woody Soil XenBlocks miner code base, taking the protocol knowledge from the Jack Levin repo, and then ops lessons per GPU process isolation, GPU auto detection, and the failure catalog of what not to do. That's funny. So we're going C++ CUDA. We're gonna add our little SQLite database. CMake, test harness 3.1. It's cool. I forget whose miner it was. Had like a web server where you can see the stats and the hash rate and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. And I think that is built into Woody's as well. At least it reports back to Woody's server. I'm not sure about public data, but it's because of you. I think it's just us. I think it's just me and you. Supersede. We got our 2 agents running. So he's building out CMake stuff with the SQLite component, and then he's building the submitter and the classifier. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thanks for being here. So one thing I'd like to build into the plan is some kind of stats delivery, whether it's a JSON that's hosted or maybe a simple website with cool stats to see. But I think it would be important to have the miner host and be able to configure the ports that it's hosted on, some different stats and stuff. Speech to text and miner does not go together. Have the miner host and be able to configure the ports that it's hosted on. Does not look good. So here we are, day 0. 2 viewers. Blasting off. Why? He doesn't say it's... Stats to deliveries on the plan committed and pushed. The miner hosts everything itself on the Crow server. On the Crow server it already has. It's trying to use whatsappowell.cool. That's why. That's why. Looks like one of our agents finished. Second one's cooking. Cool. That sounds good. That's deliveries in the plan committed and pushed. Awesome. We got our little GitHub repo. Sir. All right. Sorry, I'm doing something off screen real quick. Give me 2 seconds. All right, sorry about that. Clean sweep. Email's fully gone. Finished. It's ready. Doing its thing. Well, I'd like to get to a point where we test it. Then we'll kind of wrap it up for the evening. On a Sunday. Good news. China's a 4070, no shit. Sell is the right call. It matches the deployment time. Golden hash verification. Kernel carries 0 diffs. Build must prove it. Cool. Might see this thing start running. I see my GPU over here. Of course, it always compacts. Perfect time. I see the command. Wait, can you use by the way? That's kind of crazy if you can use by the way while it's compacting. I didn't know if... Doesn't look like it's possible. All right, Claude. Let it do its thing. What the hell? I'm running out of music. Okay, we'll let that run. Alright, so nothing else is blocked right now. That's a good sign. Good night, Janet Raccoon. Can't believe I don't have the CUDA toolkit installed. It's been a minute. So we're installing the prerequisite for the ZenMiner, the NVIDIA toolkit. "25 mock server validation steps pass." Jeez, we're testing the shit out of it. Looks like it just finished. All 4 test suites passed. The mock servers validated live. 2 real contract gaps. It's a shutdown command. There we go. Restart WSL. Hopefully that fixes the NVCC. See the hard. Yeah, it's taking a bit long. Shout out to the one viewer, if you're even out there. Just be my phone. All right, we should see something happen any second now. All right. We'll let this cook for a second. He's cooking. I think this is going to be a good place to end it. Don't really have anybody watching. Just kind of waiting for these two agents to finish up. I guess we'll wait until the next stream to test it. Maybe I'll be back tomorrow night. But we'll finish up the XenBlocks miner. we'll test it out tomorrow, and then yeah. Excuse me. But got a tickle in my throat. But yeah. Appreciate the time, guys. It was a nice chill day 0. Only had a few people show up. 57 views for day 0. Hopefully we can get some more soon. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thanks to everybody who said some words in the chat. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. I'll finish up this XenBlocks miner, and then yeah, we'll test it out together. Hopefully do lots more vibe coding. Kind of getting away from the crypto. I'm wondering if that's why I'm being shadow banned right now, is because we started off talking about crypto and Bitcoin. So we'll see how this goes from here. But appreciate the time, guys. Hope you have a good week. Hope you have a nice Sunday evening. And as always, stay zen. Peace.